Hi there, welcome back to CDL Platinum with Neville Shend. Today I wanted to talk in the second episode video podcast, signal flow, understanding signal flow. It applies to a lot of things. I learned a lot about signal flow when I took a recording engineer course with Rec W in Chillicothe, Ohio, after I was a guitar player and then guitar tech, and I wanted to learn more about recording engineer. In my original first band, we did go in the studio and record, and it was kind of like learning on our own with 2-inch tape, etc. Now we've fast forward into the 2022 and everything's digital, using digital. I still love analog. I love the sound of analog. That's personal for me. I love being able to saturate tape and get that slight distortion that, it's like I'm still an advocate of tube amps, like to the limit in its saturation. But anyways, that's another story, another topic. So talking about signal flow, like when you take a signal, it's raw signal and it goes through this chain. Like anyone who's studied electronics, like if you do guitar taking, or other and any kind of other electronics like building a coach, etc. Everything has got to start from point A and then it runs through, a track or a train of line and signal flows and branches off and etc. So when you're troubleshooting something like a mechanic would troubleshoot or trying to do a diagnostic on some issue that's happening on a bus, whether it's the engine or electronics, etc., you start at point A and then whatever that problem is, and then go in that signal flow or that chain of events to figure out, okay, why isn't sound coming from the speakers? Okay, the amp is on, and I plug in a headphone and I get sounds, but I'm not getting anything out of the RCA jack in the back or the HDMI, etc., and then doing the signal flow back that way. The reason I'm talking about signal flow right now is because it pertains to human events as well. Just an example would be like planning a trip. It's like a signal flow. Like you leave from the house. Well, you got to prep before you leave. Like, are we going to Florida? And are we going to pack? Are we going to look at the weather for the next week in Florida so we can pack properly, whether it's going to rain or whether it's super hot, the summertime or the wintertime. So that's all part of signal flow. Even planning is using signal flow. Life planning, like i.e. I want to retire when I'm 64. Hey, have you invested in simple IRA? You're 20 years old. Are you investing in property? Are you investing in rental property, etc.? This is all part of your signal flow of getting from A to Z and everything in between. Careers, and when we're talking signal flow, in the specific career that I want to talk about is commercial driving. And my expertise is in entertainment coaching, but it also applies to truck driving. Whether you're a semi-driver or box truck or you're driving for Amazon, doesn't really matter. Everything is signal flow. When you come in the morning and what you do and those different things in your planning days of, hey, here's my route and how's it look and is there construction on that route? Oh, I remember they were repairing an electrical line over here, so I need to readjust myself for my time to be most efficient and effective. That's all part of signal flow, and it's part of planning, and it's part of being a professional. Truck driver, same thing. If you're getting cartage or you're a flatbed and you got to go get some pipe, planning your day, planning the signal flow of that day and the routes, not just, winging it willy-nilly. That's not necessarily a professional. You might still accomplish what you needed to accomplish at the end of the day, but probably emotionally you didn't, because there's 4 cores involved: body, being, balance, and business. Those 4 aspects of who you are extremely important. You need to look after them every single day, balancing them out, and whether it's on your being, prayer, meditation, whatever you find that connects you with yourself and with God, or however your belief system is. And then your being or body is making sure you drink a green smoothie, or you're eating healthy, or you're planning decent healthy meals throughout the day. That's you got to look after your body and your health. Walking, get some walking in, get resistant bands. It doesn't matter. It's just something that looks after your body. And then like balance would be like making sure you have a good relationship with your wife or your kids or your cousins or your dispatch person, etc. What developing those things and those relationships that are involved in your daily life. And then of course business, looking after your books, knowing how much you're spending, know how much, if you're paying for the fuel, owner operator, you should know each day what you're spending in fuel and what you're burning on the books and what you can write off and what you can't, and being aware of those things. It doesn't take all day to do that. Just set some time aside. That's all signal flow. It really is. Like, that metaphor goes into everything in life, and it goes into customer service. That's how you become successful. In the entertainment industry, what I wanted to discuss about is, think about, you have an artist, doesn't matter, Garth Brooks, Brad Paisley, Motley Crue, whatever, and you're driving the artist. Just let's pretend you're driving the artist. And how does your day look on the signal flow? Number one, your main mission isn't like, oh, how much money did I make today? No, your main mission is, did I look after my artist? Did I look after, if you're driving the crew, did you look after the crew? Did they have a smooth ride? Were they able to sleep all night? Did you plan yourself accordingly? Were you late for load-in or were you not? And then if you were, readjust yourself so it doesn't happen again. Planning and troubleshooting that, like if it's bad weather coming in and you're running in, January and you're up in Canada or something, plan your route, know exactly what it's going. That's part of being a professional, operating that signal flow. And when we're talking about signal flow with an artist, ultimately you got the band manager or business manager of that artist, and his ultimate goal is to look after the artist so the artist can go out, perform at his top level, top of the game, and people are going to love and want to come and see him and get their escape and be willing to spend money to do that. And that's the signal flow, the money. So if an artist is on the top of the game, they're getting good money, the business person's looking after that. What's your job as an entertainer coach driver? Your job is to make sure they get from A to B to C to D to sleeping. They trust you. They feel comfortable with you. That is your job. That's part of the signal flow. So you need to be looking after that. And then the other things come. Other things in that signal flow lineup, like the money, if you get tips or rewards or something like that, you should never expect that. But if it comes, that's because you're doing a little more. I'll give you an example. Just recently, I'm doing this thing called Soul Purpose, and I sent out, they requested 20 people respond with these questionnaires that you send them out to 20 people. I sent mine out to 35. And actually I've gotten all 35 back. And there was a couple other people I thought of later, and I got those out. So I'm sitting at 38. I was asked to do 20. And I'm just using that as an example, that it's basically always exceed, or like my dad used to say, outwork your paycheck, and you will be successful. And finding a way to have good demeanor, being polite and kind to all those people, and knowing your parameters, knowing what your job description is and what is expected of you, and going above and beyond that. And that really has to do with signal flow, starting from A, going to B to C, like I said before. So that's one of the most important qualities of a really good commercial driver, whether it's, like I said, box truck or entertainer coaches or limo or seated coaches or whatever. It's understanding the signal flow of the events that you're looking after and delivering those at the highest level that you possibly can. And that's like doing homework. So anyways, this is number 2, talking about signal flow and trying to make you the best commercial driver you possibly can be. Peace out.